like being in a bloody prison cell, I think. That's how I think I'd feel about it.
I'd so struggle to go back to.
Yeah. A legal battle came in. A child died because of mould. And in October last year, a new law came into place for housing associations, and they had to conform to this set system. But if you want to be a leader in the industry, if you want to be an authority, if you want to be a premium service, you need to do that from the start.
I was going to say good morning, everybody, then. Technically, it's good morning for us. The energy is high because we have two Earl guests with us today. So I want to introduce you to Dennis and Donna, and they are crime scene cleaners. Or insert the psycho behind the shower scene. Hi guys, thank you ever so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. I just want to clarify the crime scene cleaners bit, because so many people think we work for the mafia. We don't work for the mafia in any way, shape,
you
or
could
form.
though, couldn't you?
We have
I've asked a few times.
We haven't found a way in yet.
It'd pay
It'd be quite
better.
lucrative.
I'm sure. So it's usually like we go and clean up after things have happened, sometimes illegal things, but in a legal way. So mafia we haven't worked with yet.
I don't think we'd work for the mafia because we turn up in big white suits and all our teams does, and so it would be very discreet.
I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and give people an idea about what you do then, because it's quite interesting.
Yeah, go on.
So first of all, we're husband and wife. I think that's really important to share, because you'll probably feel sometimes our energy is really great and connected. Other times it's like, are you really saying that? So that might happen. But we set up the cleaning business like 6 years ago. We'd hit rock bottom. We'd got in a really shit place. We're not expert cleaners, or we weren't. We are now. And my daughter's got a cleaning business, and she was doing really, really well. So we're like, there's something in this. You'd had a really bad accident. So we're like, let's run with it. So I went on YouTube and researched how to clean. I don't keep a clean home at home at all. So I researched how to clean. We put something together. We went to B&M, got some cloths, got our vacuum out, and just went off and started earning money. Then COVID hit. But for the cleaning industry, that was amazing, because cleaners were needed during COVID. So we managed to grow and scale. As an ex-teacher as well, off the back of that, I've now started coaching and training cleaning business owners. So we've sort of expanded really quickly in the last 6 years. But what we found was really good, and we never even knew to start with, was we've both got really different strengths. Like Den's great at going out chatting and doing the sales. I'm really good at getting all the systems in place, the training for the staff, that sort of thing. So bringing it both together makes it really, really nice, because we both do the things we like.
But we did realise that very quickly as well.
Yeah.
So, Donna's a rubbish cleaner.
I'm not a rubbish cleaner. I'm just really, really thorough.
For all those people that you used to clean for.
I'm very thorough and maybe a little bit slower than other people.
Frustratingly slow.
So yeah, we just grew really quickly, and now we've got an amazing team, and our son's now working for us, and things are just moving on really nicely. And
I can't believe how quick it's going as well. It feels like we've gone from 0 to a million, not in sales, but the business just going bang, 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 bang. And it's so exciting. Every day's really, really good fun.
So there's a lot in there that you've just said, like you've whistle-stop-toured through that 6-year journey, haven't you? So let's slow it down and go back to that beginning bit. So when you created that business, and it kind of happened at the right time by the sounds of it, with all the COVID stuff. What did it end up looking like with that business at that time before you started doing the coaching side? So how many people were working for you? Was it just you two when you started the coaching bit?
Very first job was me and Donna, and we drive past our very first end of tenancy clean quite regular, and we always think that's where our story started. But prior to that, it was like it was just, the finances had gone, everything had gone, and we had to pick on something that was going to make money and make money quickly. A real business edge come into it. And also there was a big secret in there. Donna's brilliant at business, and she kept that so bloody quiet.
I didn't know.
You did. It was so good, mate, because all of a sudden she started. I've been in business for 30, 40 years in decorating the building world. Quite different to what we're doing now. And she'd say, why do we do this? How do we do that? What about this limited company? What about? And I was thinking, bloody hell, I didn't even thought of that. 40 years of being in business, I never thought about them angles. And suddenly this structure was just coming out and coming out. So it just made it brilliant to begin with. Yeah, so it was a big secret.
I think at the start, though, it was intentionally we were going to grow and scale as quick as we could. Because like we said, we wanted to create a business. We didn't want to go out doing the cleaning. That wasn't our joy. So we went out to start with doing the cleaning, learnt the trade, made sure we got training in place for staff. And then we just took on the first staff, I think it was in the first 6 months, and just kept scaling and scaling and scaling. Now
and he's still with us.
The first person is still with us. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And now we've got, I don't know the exact number, but we've probably got around about 25 staff at the moment, which is amazing. We've got a super, super team. But it takes a lot of work to get a super, super team. And we're aiming now for like even more. Like
50.
there's all in the cleaning industry is such a big industry. Like if we had another 20 staff, we could find work for them. So we just keep scaling and keep finding the right staff.
And what sort of, how is it structured regarding like where, are they all local to you or are they spread out across the country? Like, do you want to sort of go national with it or how is it?
We are national.
You are national
we
now?
work everywhere up and down the country in different ways.
Okay.
The main teams come out of our headquarters, but like, we have other people we can maybe sub a little bit of work out to. But nearly everyone's employed to us, and they travel up and down the country for different clients. Could be in Bristol, then going up to Wolverhampton.
Well, we have two specialisms, and we have our main cleaning. So our domestic cleaning and commercial cleaning is within, say, a 15-mile radius of where we are. And then the specialist areas is our crime scene cleaning and biohazard cleaning. So that could be anything from there's been a crime with a lot of blood, we go and clean it up, to something horrible like a sewage backup, which doesn't sound as glamorous, but it's still something we do. So those sort of things we do across the UK. We also have a service which is something we're super, super proud of, and it's for people living in hoarded homes. So hoarded homes, like where clutter is up to the ceiling, they can't live in their home in the way that we would live in our homes anymore. And we've created like a slow steps approach. So rather than go in there and do a full-on clearance, and it's almost like them going cold turkey because it is like a mental health issue. We go in once a week, do it nice and slowly, a couple of hours, then back the following week. And we do that nationally, but we have to sub that out, and we sub it out to the people that I've trained. So I'll train other cleaning businesses to do that. And then if someone, I don't know, from Manchester, it's usually social services or housing associations that contact us. Say, have you got anyone that can help in Manchester? Instead of us as a team going up there, I'll contact one of the cleaning businesses that we've trained to do it. And they'll dive in. So national for those two, but the regular commercial and domestic, that's more localised.
Wow. So how did you actually get into doing the non-domestic stuff?
That's what I was about to ask.
It's weird and wonderful.
That is an arm, isn't it? It's quite a left field arm.
And when we started the cleaning business, we never knew biohazard was a thing. We'd never, ever heard of it. And I was in like a WhatsApp group for cleaning business owners, and someone said, we're going on this course about biohazard cleaning. And I'm like, what's that? And then someone said, there's a load of money in it. So I was like, what is that? So we found out what it was. We went on courses, we trained ourselves up, and it was December 2021. And because COVID was still around, instantly we got work. We were going into banks and courts every single day. If a COVID case had been recorded in those buildings, they had to shut them down instantly. And they were having to pay fines because they're meant to be open very quickly. Banks are meant to stay open when they're meant to be. So we would go in each night, and it was just in and I at that stage. We would go in each night and decontaminate the buildings, and just kept doing that for ages and ages and ages.
Fogging buildings out. You just walk around with a fogger.
It was
like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. God. Well, he thought he was in Ghostbusters. But we didn't even know it existed to start with. Like, our model wasn't do this sort of cleaning, then that sort of cleaning. It was just, we're going to build and scale as quick as we can. And it just sort of evolved. And then for me, we come across the hoarding work because I've always wanted to help people. And the cleaning aspect didn't feel like we were particularly helping people. And someone contacted us one day and said, can you help with my sister's decluttering or something? And I just said, yes. We hadn't done it before, but I just said, yeah, we can. Of course we can. And we went in, and the way we done it really slowly worked. So then we done more of it, didn't we?
Yeah,
Just you and I to start with. And then, of course, because I'm an ex-teacher, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to train someone else to do this because I'm going to step back. So we'll get our team to do it. So we trained our team to do it. And then I put a course together, and then I trained other cleaning business owners to do it. So they do it across the country now.
I think something really important is everything we do or we train out or our staff do, we've done. So we
Been
can
on
be
the ground,
really deep and thorough on it,
lived it,
no matter whether it's a murder scene or whatever sort of scene they're going to. I would have been on something like that. So they're not going to come across or they can't make a phone call to us and say, then what do we do here? We say, no, this is the procedure. So we've been there, we've done that. So there's plenty of knowledge behind it.
Yeah.
There's so much in this.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I'm thinking, because there's a lot of crossover into the dog training world
I was
here.
thinking this as you were talking.
There's
You know
nothing
what?
just
We've been asked to nationally pick up dog poo
poo.
bins.
I've been wanting to ask you, did you get it?
We haven't got into it yet, but we have been asked to price it a few
We've
times.
tended that for holiday camps from here to the top of Scotland. Loads and loads of them. Yeah, so.
Yes. It's been I keep meaning to reach out and go like, have you got the contract yet?
We have priced it a couple of times.
Yeah, I've probably
we haven't
priced
got
about
in
6
there
or 7
yet.
of them now.
Probably we could follow that one up.
Yep.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
you
here we go.
could.
Now I have more time. My son's working, so it's okay.
There you go. There you go.
No excuse.
So the things that are coming up for me, and I don't know if you're thinking the same as me, Vic, because we're like our own version of a married couple. Almost that the wanting to help people, although more likely wanting to help dogs rather than people. And then secondly, I just find it quite fascinating that you went in with the mindset of creating a business rather than almost following that hobby passion type of thing. Because I think you and I have always said, like, I went into being a dog trainer from a business perspective.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm quite unique around that. Like I don't mean unique in an ego way, unique as in a weirdo way. But still with that wanting to help. So it's not going in with the intention of it's just about the money and fuck everybody else and all of that. But actually that mindset of, no, I do want to build something here. I do want to scale it. And then do you find that going in, or is it your belief that going in with that mindset allows you to do things that you wouldn't potentially do if you were going in from I just love doing this thing?
I've tried that. I just love doing this thing.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the story about that one because it is similar to you guys. So when I left teaching, years ago, I trained to be a horse riding instructor. So when I left teaching, I set up a riding school with a friend and all my horses were there. You helped a bit, didn't you? And I remember about 4 years in, I walked down to my horse one day and I'm like, shit, I don't even want a horse now because it just had turned into a chore. And I'm very quick in making decisions. So when I had that thought, I would guess within about 6 weeks, the riding school was shut down. And really I stopped because I was like, that used to be my joy, my escape and my hobby. And now all of a sudden I'm walking up to that horse and I've still got him, luckily. He's the only one we've still got. And he was like, I called him my heart horse. He was a horse I wanted to buy years before I could buy him. I couldn't afford him, got him. And I looked at him and I don't even want you now because it feels like a chore. So I changed the world, stopped working in the horse industry. I do miss it sometimes. And now he's just my escape and I just spend my joy time with him. So I don't, having that part of it, I can't do that anymore. But I have to work in something that I am enjoying. And the cleaning I don't enjoy. Helping people grow as human beings, I really, really enjoy. And for us to start with, that was just helping our team grow as people, like bringing people on. We've got one member of staff that's been with us since he's 16 and he's about 21-ish now. And he's just bought his first house. And for me, that's like, I've really helped you come along. Like when you started with us at 16, I had to remind you, your mum don't phone in sick anymore. You've got to phone in.
I remember
and
that
like
conversation.
that whole journey of seeing them grow is to me more important for me than the aspect of what we've created in the cleaning in general. And then being able to help for the hoarding support people who are in crisis every single day, that was massive, absolutely massive. And some of the biohazard work is in a helpful way as well, because some people have had a horrendous thing happen at home. Like some of the worst things could be someone's committed suicide and the room is an absolute mess and bloody the parents are left to clean it up. That's horrendous. So we go in, our teams go in and do that. And that's the helping side. And then my other helping side, of course, is like coaching cleaner business owners. Like that is me, my joy every minute of every day. Like just helping them grow as people. And you guys do the same thing. And it's not about just strategy and statistics and this. It's about like, as a human being, how do you get through this stumbling block? Because you can't just get through it with your paperwork. It's what's going on in here. And that's the bit I love. You're less so that way. You were more money driven, weren't you? But you have changed more recently.
A lot of stuff we met has made me realise what my real core values are, my meaning, why I want to be here. And I'm really spiritual. I meditate every day, and I'm trying to find the core in me that makes me want to tick. And I have realised it's people, because I love having lots of staff. And the thought of having 50, 100 staff is brilliant. Lots of people to chat to, being a parent. But it's like I just love helping. And I didn't realise how much I do enjoy helping. It's not down to the money. You can always make sure from a salesman point of view, we're going to make money, we're always going to survive because we're in the right bracket. But it's just being able to help. And I've realised how important that is to me. And watching how you do it in the rooms you sit in and how you train people. And
well, you help with the training now anyway.
And I've never imagined me doing it. I used to sit and watch, see all you guys up front and I think, oh, blood it. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden you say, come and show that, do that. And all of a sudden I'm getting involved and doing bits and I'm like, this is quite good fun. And then she sort of, I'm doing that. I know a little bit about this, So, that's definitely what drives me, people, 100%.
And this is where I think the beauty of that, like you opened up with, you've got your skills, you've got yours, you've got different things you're really great at. You're bringing it together and you are, same with us really. Like there were parts of me that I can relate to you, Dan, and going like, oh, I don't think I'm cut out to do this thing. Like I'm just really good at connecting with people, but that's what helps our clients in certain ways. So I kind of let Jo does things in her way really well. I do things in my way. And I've realised that actually that's a really valuable asset for our clients, even when I just thought it was something I do and it's not going to help anyone else. Like that feeling of going, I have got that purpose and I have got the ability to change people's lives. And it's massive, isn't it? And when you get that gelling of it right, yes, there's always going to be little bumps along the road and you're always going to have disagreements and things you chat through, but that's nature. That's
I think
business.
If you approach everything with love, doesn't matter what goes on. If you're great in business together, it doesn't matter what's there. You can get over it. You can enjoy it. 100%. And we have to, because we love Donna. So it's like, and I also love the idea of Jake being involved and the teams that are being involved around us. So as long as it's all done with love and meaningful, and if you've got to do something that's a bit harsh to a start, not harsh to them, but be a bit straighter about something, just do it nicely. And I found that you can do that, and it's always good afterwards. I
love this because I'm thinking as well, like certainly, and I don't know if you can relate to this coming from that horse perspective as well. And I love that. Like we always refer to those animals as like our heart animals, don't we? When we find out our one. And I think a lot of us who fall into like the animal industry anyway, we are driven more so by the animal. And a lot of us will always say, oh, because I don't want to work with the people. The people bit is actually so far down the priority list. And what we try and encourage or remind the dog trainers out there that are listening, you've got to connect with the person anyway in order to be able to help the dog. And I think it is a really challenging thing, isn't it, for a lot of us to wrap our brains around that in the most part, people aren't twats. They're not being dicks on purpose. They're not doing a lot of this stuff. Dog owners genuinely don't know what they don't know, like a lot of us. And it's our job, essentially, to be able to connect with those people and try and put our own frustrations aside from it. But it's really fucking challenging, isn't it? When
you do get a lot of people turn and say, my business would be brilliant if I didn't have clients.
Yep.
You wouldn't have a business without
I
them.
know. And as soon as they say that, I think, you know what I mean? But you just got to make the perfect pathways, create the better relationships. I believe in relationships make all your business. So you get them relationships going, mate, and then all of a sudden the jobs start falling in place and you're saying the right things, you're all talking the same things. And so you just got to build them relationships.
Yeah. And we were talking before this episode about disc profiling, which we've talked about quite a lot. I say quite a lot. I hope we sort of
probably
do
not so much on
it.
This podcast. You'll hear us more recently, I think.
Yeah. We do talk about it with our clients and we talk about it in our our paid for podcast as well. But we like the importance of understanding people, understanding what type of person they are, how they receive information, how they buy, how they operate. And that is, I think it's done you like it's a really good thing for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You were saying about like the staff you've brought on. We get a lot of people that go, I'd like to bring staff on. I want to kind of grow and scale that dog training business maybe, or dog walking or whatever it is. How do you make sure you bring the right people on? How do you make sure you're not stuck with dickheads? And, you know, how do you manage them well? So I guess like this might be a good question to ask you on here is like, where do you even start with that when you're bringing on staff?
I'll do that one because this is what I train out all the time. So I love talking about it.
I sometimes explain things back
the cleaning industry is exactly the same. I have so many people say, I'm going to stay solo because everyone tells me it's really hard to recruit, or everyone's a knob when you recruit them. But if you recruit I have a process. If you recruit via the disc profile, and we say it with the birds, if you recruit for character and you look for those flags of that character, you will start getting better staff coming towards you, and recruit for your core values. So I always say to people, first of all, get your core values, your mission, your vision in place, have that in place. Then your advert goes out. Don't list your core values, but have a vibe of your core values in the advert. Then you're going to get slightly people that are more drawn to that sort of value. Then when you're doing your interview, when you're doing your process, look for the person that you think is going to suit the role the most. And for us, it would be a dove or a dove owl, because we want people that like consistency, like the same thing every day. Like I don't like the same thing every day. We want people that want that. Then when you start recruiting like that, you'll start finding the right people. You'll start knowing who looks right, who doesn't look right. And then when they come on board, they're likely to stay longer. But there's a lot of a longer process, like great training, great culture in the business, all those sort of things. But our industry is probably similar to what you were just saying. People are so scared to recruit because they think they're going to come in and they're going to go on sick the next day. And yes, that does happen a lot, but it's because you've recruited wrong and your process has been wrong. And an example for us is like so far this year, like we've got 25 staff. We've had 5 sick days in the whole year so far. And
over 25
amazing.
staff.
Yeah,
that is really good,
amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And the reason being is we have a process in place where we listen to people. They want to show up. They want to help us build and scale, but they feel part of it.
They feel part of the family, don't they?
And it's super, super important to get that part of it right, because I really don't believe recruitment is difficult. It's scary to start with. It's like jumping into the swimming pool with your eyes closed thinking, shit, where am I going? But if you follow a process and you get your systems in place at the beginning, it's going to be easier. We have recruited wrong. Like we have made mistakes for sure. But again, we have a process. If we make a mistake and someone's a red flag when they started, we know what that process is to either up level them so they become the right person, or check in with them and say to them, like, is this the job for you? So it is absolutely doable, but it is so scary. And it's that mindset, isn't it? It's like, am I ready to face my fears and jump through the hoop? And there's people out there to help everyone, isn't there? Like we've all used coaches to help us. And for me, there's massive, massive value in that. So like everyone else needs to know that if they want help, there's help out there to get to that next stage.
Yeah, and another thing that comes up a lot, which may come up for for you as well, is the fear of letting it go. Like I remember when I brought my first member of staff on, I was like, oh, they're not going to do as good a job as me. The clients might not like them as much. Like, what if they're just not have that connection? So
and
like,
that goes for every level of business as well. So you start thinking maybe they can do the cleaning good, then with the office stuff do what I'm doing, and then with the guy's going to run the warehouse for a bit of that, and all of a sudden you've got all
catastrophizing it all in your head.
Right, and all these worries I have. And then I sit back and I don't go in, it's all done. And I think, oh.
It was okay, actually. But it's that almost like putting barriers in there before you've even tried, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're sort of protecting yourself from that fear of failure, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember one of the first milestones for us was when we took our first staff on. And like, I am now a recovering perfectionist, but it is still there. And we had our first complaint when a new cleaner had gone in and done something. And I was like, that shouldn't happen. Like, there should not be complaints. That should not happen. They should do exactly the same. It's not hard. They know how to do it. Blah, blah, blah. And I went on like this for hours.
And the opposite to that is where I come from, the building and decorating world. We have snagging sheets. We get complaints all the time. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sitting there thinking, I wish it's just natural. We just go forward and do it. And Donna's like, whoa, we can't have that.
So we did have a quite heated debate between us because Dan was like, this is normal. It's going to happen again and again and again. And I'm like, no, it's not. It can't. And then I'm like, I can't put my perfectionism on everyone else. And actually, it's never going to be me. It's never going to be perfect. And that was one of my biggest lessons, letting go of the perfectionism and thinking,
and it moved really quickly at that point as well. As soon as you release that pressure, that tension, it was like...
Well, it's because I created a process because I could only go with it if I created a process. And it was like, okay, things aren't going to go right. So what are we going to do when they don't go right? And it is like, contact the client, listen to the client, work out whether our training's right or not. What could we have done better? So put it on us first rather than the team. And once we've got a system in place, like, it's fine. We still get irritated, obviously, if someone has a little oversight, but it's part of life. And as long as we deal with it in the right way.
I think also in our business, it's what you call it. Like, we call them an oversight. We don't say you missed it, you broke this, you done that. It's just an oversight.
Yeah.
You can deal with it. It's fine. And that makes it nowhere near as coarse or hard to them and to us. It just gets dealt with.
Yeah, I think we create a culture of like, let's spot things quickly. So let's notice before the client does. But if we don't notice before the client does, when we notice, let's just all up level rather than blame each other.
Yeah.
And we try and create that. Sometimes when people come in new, they find that a little bit weird to start with, but slowly they get hold of it, definitely.
But then that comes down to us as well when we're interviewing them. They go through quite a procedure for a cleaning job, CVs and all this sort of stuff. Why do I need that? But we're looking for them people to fit into our core values.
Yeah.
So by the time they get in and sit in front of us, they've been through a whole load of stuff, you know what I mean, for a job that seems quite low level. So then we know they fit into what we're about. It works really well.
I love it. How do you find, because the cleaning industry, I would say, has lots of similarities over in the dog industry, and that thought process of, certainly from a sole trader type of cleaner, like just a one-man band type of person, and the fear that the market's already saturated, so that if we think then that we need to bring somebody on to potentially help us, then they are going to nick my business model, nick my clients, and then I am left with...
Just don't look at them. We never ever worry about how much we're charging, because we need a certain amount of money to make this very viable, and I'll always sell by giving, like Matt says, value and stuff like that. I don't think I really look at anyone else's prices.
Do you know who the local cleaning businesses are?
No, I don't. If someone stood sat next to me in a network meeting and said, I'm so clean and blah, 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 I'd go and have a big chat with them, but I probably wouldn't even know them. You know, and I have been to network meetings where I'm sat next to other cleaning companies and bits and pieces, but my opening line's always a lot stronger.
Hi, I'm Dan, the crime scene.
Everyone cut,
Boom, mic drop.
All of a sudden, the accountants are on the floor.
I was like, oh God, yeah, that's actually, isn't it?
But I firmly believe we trust and believe in our product. So I'm not bothered what anyone else is sending it for, what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it for, who they're doing it for. We will prevail, mate. And we believe in ourselves.
But it does come up in everyone. Loads of people.
Because this is why we get on so well.
That's just that's a personal thing. That's how we think.
Yeah.
We never set this business up thinking we're going to have to fight Tom Jones, who's doing like £15 an hour cleaning and stuff like that. We just thought, we got to charge this. Let's sell it at that.
Yeah.
And just that was it.
But when I coach people think that a lot. Like, if I take on staff, are they going to nick my clients? It's going to happen one day, maybe. So be aware that it might happen one day. It won't be the end of the world.
We've had staff leave and run off with clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we just get another one.
But like when when I'm training it out, it's like, let's flip this mindset around. What happens if they don't? If they don't nick your clients? What happens if they're the best new member of staff? All those sort of things. But again, it's a mindset and a self-belief thing, isn't it? Because there are tons and tons of cleaning businesses out there. Like, there's 69,000 businesses under 10 employees. I made sure I checked, because I'm like, why am I only working with this many when there's 69,000 out there? I need to find these people. So if there's that many businesses out there, and the industry is a multi-billion industry, there is space for everyone. If you don't believe there's space for you, there won't be. If you believe there's space, you'll find it. You'll find the doors to open. But it's not as simple as that, is it? Because if I just say that to them, it's like, yeah, but you're all right saying that because you're doing okay now. So what I try and do if they're in any of my programs, is like, let's work deeper on why you believe that. Like, what is it that's happened during your journey of life that's made you think that you're not worthy for that part of the world? And then let's try and unpack that so that you can go to that next meeting and believe you are the world-class cleaner, you're the best person for the job, and you're going to nail it. So it's about unpacking mindset. Some people are ready, some people aren't they? So it's seeing where they're at. But you've just got to go in with that self-belief. But it's not as simple as saying.
I think a lot of little cleaning companies as well struggle to think, how can I go from being like earning 80 quid a day to earning like £1 million a year? That's just too big a scale to go through. And what you're brilliant at doing is saying, right, it's one little step. And so you just start seeing that plan and you believe in that plan, which we firmly do, it suddenly becomes quite easy. Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's worth going there to the worst case scenario, isn't it? Let's play it out then. Let's imagine that person's taken your clients. Like, what happens?
Am I going to die because of it?
No. And also, they're never going to be you anyway. So they can try and replicate it, but they're not.
We've had that so many times where they've gone and then all of a sudden you get a call. Then is there any chance you can send the clean around that? Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, the chances are they're going to come back to you anyway. The chances are the person's going to take on her new role as running her own business and think, shit, I don't want to do that. There's so many scenarios that could happen. And also, if they do take that client, they weren't the right client, were they?
No.
So we have to look at it in that perspective. But again, it's easy for us. We've got money in the bank. We can say, oh, if they go, they go. If they don't, they don't.
But we didn't have at one point. We were
we didn't. And also, we had an example this week, actually, of one client left. We've never had this before. Someone left a written letter through our office door. Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sunday. It was really short and abrupt. Can I cancel my cleaning services as from today? And we were like, that's not like her.
That character, yeah.
But a lot of people in business would have just said, yeah, all right, just take her off the books. But we thought it's not like her. So then jumped on a call, we explored it, and we're back next week again because we found out what the issue was. We've dealt with it. And we're back again next week. That's probably put a load of trust and everything in the bank to keep going forward because we recognised something wasn't quite right. It wasn't her normal way of doing things. And we just didn't just leave it on the table. We jumped in and said, what's the problem?
Once we realised what the problem was, it was an easy fix. And she didn't really want to leave at all.
Yeah.
And so we gave her other options and bits and pieces. So it was really good.
When I hear stories like that, you can see how much work you've done on yourselves to have the ability to be able to do that. Because what's the default? Oh my God, they're just leaving us. Oh my God, they're shit. They don't appreciate all the stuff we've done for them. And it's that I'm the victim and they're horrible
you've
person.
Got to lose the victim things.
Yeah.
As soon as you lose that, and that comes in just personal belief, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So as soon as you get into that.
Yeah, and it's not going like it's my fault, not their fault, which is what I used to do. Go like it's obviously something I've done wrong or whatever. It's going, what's led to that decision? What's going on possibly with them? Or maybe it is us. Maybe we have missed something. Maybe our standard hasn't been as good as it was previously. But if you don't know it, you can't, because you're just going to go round in your own head and think you're shit and think they're shit. And actually, by having the guts and the balls to actually go towards that person and go like, I see that you've put this letter through, really want to find out what we can do to rectify this. If anything, can find out what's led to that decision. Like that for me takes such a lot of, it becomes natural once you've done that work on yourself, but it's such a hard thing to actually do, I think, initially, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so much, even throughout that whole conversation, you realise how far even the four of us have come in the last few years on working on ourselves and on our business, because you can see, and I think this is what's really hard for other people to be around people like the four of us here in some situations, because we don't think like they do anymore.
Normal people do.
Yeah, air quote, normal folk.
They say that
is there such a thing?
It's a very small percentage of people who might be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all that comes into that.
But everyone's got the ability to do this, by the way. This isn't something like an us and them thing.
Because it's like
everyone can do this
We were having this conversation this week about the, kind of tying it in with that thought process of like if you bring staff on and then they could potentially run off with your business and all of that. But even I cast my mind back to my early days of dog training, and I was convinced that there was no there was no dog trainers in my area because I wasn't looking for it at the time. It just wasn't on my radar. I remember saying to one of my friends, I was like, there's no dog trainers in this area. And she was like, there will be. I'm like, no, I don't see anything. Because I was like, well, come on, looking for it. But then that mentality creeps in of, oh my God, this dog trainer's just popped up down the road from me, and this dog and like now there's not going to be any business for me. They're my competition. And I think this is where, when you get your business model right, and like you've been saying, Den, like get the money bit right that works for you, you've only got a certain amount of capacity anyway. You can only see so many people. And if your numbers are right and you've got what you want, and if that means you get 2 clients and you've paid your bills for the month, hoorah, like fucking brilliant. We're not in competition. But that fear comes up so often for all of us, doesn't it? We still get it now. Like people will drop us messages going like, oh, have you seen that there's another business coach popping up for dog trainers? And we're like, okay.
There's been so many new ones in the last 3 years. It's quite a lot, isn't there?
Yeah.
But because we're so sure of our path and our journey and what we do and how we do it and the way we are isn't going to be for everyone. Like we go, fine, great. I'm glad there's more, because if they're helping other people in their own way and those people are more receptive to someone like that than us, great. Like at least we're all helping. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And like different people are going to be attracted to different people, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's sort of similar with us, like coaching in the cleaning industry 4 years ago probably didn't exist. And then all of a sudden it started to, and then all of a sudden everyone is. So it sort of slowly changes. But like some people are going to be drawn to my character, how I do things. And some people are really going to be repelled against it. So
your awesome purple hair.
I was just about to say.
For those who are just listening, Donna's got this awesome purple hair. I love it.
And it's like, and like you said, if you have a passion for the industry, it can only be a good thing, because people are going to go to the right person if they want to find support. And then the whole industry just gets bigger and better, doesn't it? So I try and grasp that. But it is something I struggle with a little bit, and I'm still working on, because the whole comparisonitis, or whatever we want to call it, with the social media age was really hard for me when I first went into coaching, because I would look at everyone else. Like now I've streamlined what I see on my social media. So all I ever see is something that makes me feel great. But to start with, I was seeing someone that said, I don't know, they were bringing in 50 million a year and they can help someone get their Range Rover in 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, I can't help someone get a Range Rover in 2 weeks. And then it's like, well, actually, that's probably not quite true. But it's like, now I don't even look at it. So I don't know what anyone else is doing. And then what happens is you run in your lane, don't you? And you really focus on your lane. Yeah. And I've only been able to do that, I'd say, probably for about the last 8 months, 8 or 9 months, because I was still dipping in and comparing myself. And then you start thinking, oh, I'm shit, I'm not as good as them, I shouldn't be doing this. And that's just a silly place to go to. It's not worthy of going down that line. But it is the internal work that I have to keep doing still now, because we never finish that internal work. There's always something, isn't there, that jumps up and says, oh, here's another lesson for you. Let's do that one today. And you're like, I don't really fancy this lesson today, but I guess I've got to deal with it.
Where did that come from?
And like growth as a human being, like I'm always obsessional about something. And for about the last 7 or 8 years, that's sort of been my obsession, because 7 or 8 years ago, we were in such a shit place. If I didn't do that work, I don't know whether I'd be here now, to be honest, because it felt so shit every single day that it was like, I either stay here. I don't know what the trigger was to come out of it. I can't really remember how it started, but if I stay here, nothing changes. It probably gets worse. So now's time for me to take ownership of it and just work out why I'm doing these things. And then you sort of joined a couple of years later, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like in the journey of growth.
I've always been spiritual, but I didn't know why, how, why I really thought like I thought. And then all of a sudden, like, as soon as you started working on yourself and you start digging into that deep person inside and feelings, you think, oh, that makes sense. This is it. Why am I connecting to the source? What is the source? You know what I mean? And they're massive questions. And you come from nowhere on that as well.
I think I had to.
Yeah.
I sort of had to either find out why I feel like I feel, or shit's going to hit the fan big time. It already had, but like I had horrible thoughts some days. Like we lost our house, didn't we? Like loads of shit went on. And if I hadn't have sorted myself out, it would have just gone deeper and deeper.
Again,
And it was like,
you've got to take yourself out from being the victim.
I was just going to say, it was. I was like, is this my bag? Like, how come they've got that life and I'm here? Maybe this is just my bag. I've just got to suck it up, and that's who I am, what I am. And then I just started reading more books, looking into things, finding out why I think like I think, asking questions. Why do you think like this? And it's, of course, it's all because of like life's happenings and traumas or whatever. I was doing what I was doing. But then I took ownership of it. It's like, it's okay that happened. That wasn't your fault. It's okay that happened. It's made you who you are now. And now I look back on my life from my childhood, that shit that happened then, from losing our house. That happened to help me grow. And now I see it as a positive and as a value and as helpful. But I could have just kept saying, oh, well, that's shit. And then, I don't know, more people would have been knocking on the door, or bailiffs would have been here every day and that sort of thing. And that's such a horrible place to be.
Because I do really believe as well, the universe puts in front of you what you need to see, and he delivers the person to teach you that at that time. And I had a massive attack on Facebook one night, and I was working away, and it was horrible. And the next day I sort of knew I had to change everything. And then it weren't too short after that, I had to go bust. You know what I mean? But it was a new starting line. It was there, you know?
I think it just put the line, right, that's really shit. Now we need to sort ourselves out.
Because I was playing around in industries for 30, 40 years and never really making enough money, didn't have enough structure. And I couldn't see it. I just thought, that's right, I've got these guys working for me, I've got to look after them, got to do this. And it was just one day, he just said, no, it's over. You've got to change it. And that's what happened. And he just went, new line come in front of us, and it's been brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think it is as shit as it is at that point in time.
It's going to get better.
It's there for a reason, and it's there to help you grow. And like, as you were talking, I was thinking about my very first experience of starting Expert Empires. So we're for context, everyone listening, we're in the same business group at the moment, and a kind of subsidiary of that business group was the very first experience I had of being in an environment with business owners who were striving for more. Like, I'd run a business for like many, many years.
Very frightening to be in there as well.
Yeah, I felt really so out of my depth, like in that room. And I remember like thinking, oh, this is all going to be about business. This is going to help me with strategy. This is going to help with marketing and all that sort of stuff. And then it wasn't long, like, I don't know, probably an hour in, I was like, okay, they're talking a lot about me here. They're talking about what's in your way, like what is stopping you? Why might you possibly not be able to move forward with things? And that was the thread running through everything. And now we know when we do business stuff, like, we can't not work on that mindset and that growth of you as a human being and look inwards and stuff. And I do think now, like, imagine trying to do it without that. Imagine trying to grow a business and not trying to grow yourself at the same time. And all this is like making me think of that and going like, didn't think I needed it. I didn't think like, what's all this about? This is a bit fucking scary to look inwards and look at all my faults potentially. And like, there weren't, oh, maybe there were quite a few.
Should we go into that now?
But I would have always classed myself as quite an open-minded person, quite a positive person, until I started doing the work on myself. And then I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm shit as a human being. There's so much I can do. But I was, compared to a lot of other people, I feel like I was at like a higher level in that respect. But wow, what I've come on and done now, and it doesn't ever end. Like, you're right, you said that. The work continues every day.
You just spin at faster levels as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I know now that you have to have those people around you that are going to keep growing you in the right way that you want to grow. And it's so hard to do it by yourself, because we've tried. We tried to have a break. Like, we did have a break for a while, and we were just really struggling.
The finances needed a break. We didn't have it.
Well, that's exactly it. Was we can't afford to invest in this anymore for a bit. And then we were like, shit, the business has really suffered as a result.
Wow. And we really suffered.
And we really suffered.
So we were like, we're going to have to go get another loan and go and invest again. And
that's what we did.
Just
them
do
rooms
it.
are brilliant for it, and you don't realise until you come out of that room.
No.
Yeah.
And we sit and chat all that. I say, because we drive everywhere, so we drive up to Birmingham and stuff like that. And them conversations on the way home, some days is just like, wow.
Yeah, they're great. They're really good.
Debriefs after.
I love it.
As
people often say to us, like, oh God, you're driving back again. It's like an hour, I don't know, an hour and a half. But like, they're really good, those drive backs, because it's just like, what did you think of today? And I always like I'm quite like Matt when I ask questions, and I'm like, Dan, what was your best bit of today? And he's like, for God's sake, shut up, I'm resting now.
You're like that. You do it to me. So we have the same on the journey here, because it's about 2-hour journey here, and we do the same kind of things, don't we?
There's me. I'm always trying to be like, right, come on, what are we thinking about? What are we doing? What are we doing? And then she has to shoehorn in something that's not work related at all. I'm like, okay. It's like, I love having this conversation, but can we go back onto this now?
I think though, touching on the rooms when we spend time in person, in real life, in our business community with the group that we get together at like ECA, but I feel super lucky because I've implemented that in the cleaning industry. So I have 2 days a month with like Matt and Ned and everyone, but also I've created the same with cleaning business owners. So they get 2 days a month. And you see the same cycle happening, because when we're about a week away from going back to our like meeting up with Matt and everyone, which I think is next week.
Which is about now.
You start thinking, I need that room again.
Yeah, I'm craving
and my
that.
guys,
and it seems like a long time in between.
Yeah.
And the cleaning business owners that come to me once a month say exactly the same
Do
thing.
they?
We need our reset. We need that once a month where we can throw everything on the table, get it out there, say what's gone really well, say what's not gone so well, and then let's reset. And then we've got our energy again for the next month. And I think it's super powerful.
And that's only a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're craving it and you need it. Yeah.
Definitely.
But it's interesting you say about the rooms being frightening when you first go in there.
Oh, God,
I felt so
scared. So out my depth.
Yeah, that's it. I thought, what am I doing here? What have I done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden when you start digging in deep and you start believing.
And also everyone's going through the same shit as you.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's the thing. You're sitting in some rooms with like all these multi-million-pound businesses and they're struggling just like you are with it.
Yeah.
You know? And even right at the top level, like Richard Branson. Some of these stories you hear
they
about
couldn't
and you
be
read
where
through
they
his book.
are now without help.
Yeah.
You know, it couldn't be.
You know, and then you think, God, everyone is doing this. I'd absolutely love it.
Okay, so with all of that motivation and with the energy and with the stuff that we've been talking about and all that mindset thing, what would you say the biggest struggle you've had in growing your business? Because we all know they happen. We all know that we end up doing things that we don't want to do, but we know they need to be done to get it there.
Which business? The coaching or the cleaning?
Yeah, that's interesting.
They run them together, really.
But they are separate.
I don't know.
They would
Both.
be separate answers for me. They would definitely be. How about you do the cleaning business, I'll do the coaching. Okay. As long as you answer the cleaning business correctly.
Oh! Come on, Dan, no pressure.
Well, no pressure there, mate. Biggest struggle is the wife.
That was not correct.
I
asked that, didn't I?
Do you know what? I don't see struggles. It's more me in struggle with myself, believing what I'm going to do and how I should deal with it, or am I capable of dealing with that at this point? So that's my biggest struggle. Also, I do have a little bit of negativity in me, as we found out in our books that we've been. What's the name of the books?
Human design.
Human
books.
design
They're
books.
Amazing. We got our human design books.
Yeah, and my one.
You found out who you were.
Yeah, it really did, and it nailed me down to the ground. Like it was negativity and success.
No, it wasn't negativity. It was bitterness.
Bitterness, that's it. I know, bitterness. It's even worse.
Yeah,
bitterness,
it lingers.
And that I'd say that's my big struggle, because all of a sudden something will happen, something to say, and I go bitter about it, and so I have to pick myself up out of that, because I know now, and I go back towards more the success side and work on that. So you start thinking about yourself, but I can clearly see it, and that's almost frightening. So it's definitely on another personal level. As far as like setting this all up and working with the staff, I've loved every bit of it. You know, loved picking up, you know, how we built the banks up, how we've built the staff up and stuff like that. I say another thing as well that I slightly struggle with, goes back to the crime scene cleaning, is I don't like the sight of blood.
Oh.
And so when I come home one evening, Donna says, we're going on this course and it's to learn how to clean crime scenes. All I think was buckets and buckets of blood everywhere. And if you used to pick up a knife now and cut your hand, mate, I'd just faint. I'd just go. You know what I mean? I thought, how am I going to be able to go onto any of these sites and deal with that? But you know what? It don't affect me at all. And I found
there's
that
no
really
human
good.
there, I think.
No, that's it, because you can't see it, but you see lots of blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bodily fluids and all that sort of stuff. But you just don't. It doesn't associate. And that was a real big mental block for me. And as soon as I see it, and then I was thinking, the very first one I'm going to, how am I going to deal with this and blah blah blah. And just went all professional and dealt with it.
Just as as a little spin-off question on that, actually, the staff that you get to do that now, do they specialise in the crime scene? And do you ever have any problems with the same with them? Like,
I vet them absolutely loads. So before they get to go onto our biohazard course and go through to doing that, they've been with us a little while, and we know what they can take. And also we give them lots of out options as well. If they was to turn to do all the training, I think they're absolutely perfect for it. And we open up the door to approach the building and they say, I can't do this. That's absolutely fine. Right, yeah. I said, you go and sit in the van, it's never, ever, ever going to be a worry, whether that's on a hoarded property, a crime scene, an unattended death, or anything like that. It's absolutely fine. Because you don't know until you're actually right in the middle of it, whether you're actually going to cope with it. And we pretty much got it nailed. The guys that do turn up and do this are happy to do it, and they find it quite exciting as well. It becomes great dinner talk for them when they're going out with people. It's just like
this is going to sound really strange, but something's pinged into my head while you were saying that. I learned how to be a canine massage therapist, and for the training, we went down to the Royal Veterinary Hospital in whatever it's called, can't remember now, down in London somewhere, I can't remember. Anyway, we did this day and it was a dissection course, like a day of dissecting dead foxes. And I remember thinking, I know this is going to sound weird, but I remember thinking, how the hell am I going to get through that? Like exactly the same sort of the thought of that, the ickiness around it. Got there and I was like, we had to take the skin. It's going to sound really weird, everyone listening. We had to take the skin off the fox first, and I put it over its face, like its own skin over its face. And then I was like, I'm fine now. I can deal with it. It's muscles, it's fascia, it's tissue, it's all that stuff, organs that I know in a textbook, and I've just put it into real life, but I feel like it's still a textbook. And I could deal with it in that way. And it was really weird how I could compartmentalize it and go like, the thought of like a dead fox on a road or something really upset. I hate that, when an animal's been knocked over and I think, when I look and everything. Sent you a picture yesterday of a dead deer that my dog had found. And I was like, but that scenario, I could just compartmentalize it and go like, my job is to learn from this.
Become professional with it.
And do it and be able to be a better canine massage therapist from it. But I just thought I'd get that little story.
That was hard, wasn't
it? Yeah.
And we've only, I think, had one member of staff that went through the training, done a couple of jobs and then said, I can't do this.
And it wasn't nothing to do with crime scene, it was to do with hoarding and deep cleans.
Right.
And I think what got him, he's a lovely guy, and what actually got him was he could see that person's trauma. And that's what was getting him. And so he was feeling it, he was in the property and he could see, you do go into places and crime scenes and all sorts, and suddenly you start putting things together. I mean, I think I've done ones where it's been children, and that's really hard. Really, really, that's terrible. You know what I mean? So I'd rather not know too much about what I'm going into. But you just got to sort of like go forward and do what you're going to do. But if any of them turned up and said, I can't do this right now, it didn't matter what the situation was, they can stop, go and sit in the van, relax. Or if they were to call me, we'd just say, come away, and we'd deal with it.
Yeah. And I guess actually that links quite nicely into if someone was to take another dog trainer on and they were struggling with the problem. It's the same sort of thing, isn't it? By going, don't try and do it all by yourself if you can't. No harm in saying, I need a bit of extra support with that, and come to you and ask you, as the business owner, what can I give here, or what extra knowledge do those people need and stuff. So I feel like sometimes that's
the same with like referrals as well, though. So like if you've taken, like if you've got no staff and it is just you working, and you do need help with that dog, you're thinking, I just don't got fucking clue what I'm doing here.
And it's that imposter syndrome creeps in a little bit,
it's
doesn't
like
it?
ask for help, but then it's almost like the imposter syndrome is so loud that you don't even want to ask for help.
Because everyone will think you shit.
Yeah, and then you don't really know how to handle it and go in, or these are the things that came up for me. I hope I'm not the only one. But I always used to think, probably a bit from that business perspective as well as that imposter syndrome bit of going, well, say if I referred to you back in the day when I didn't know you, I'd be thinking, well, has that client now got to pay for Vicky when they've paid me? Or have I got to pay for Vicky because they've signed up with me and it's not their fault that I don't know what I'm doing? And my head would go into such a spin on the business
where
logistics of it. So I was just like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to learn the thing myself. But then I realised that actually I'm just digging myself a bigger hole here, because now I'm learning so much that I'm not doing, and I'm just a jack of all and master of none. I'd rather price it into my service that if I do ever need to refer on, I've got that buffer within the model.
You can pay that person.
So I'm like, I will.
And
so
let's
using
be
that same,
honest,
I'd
in
pay you.
business as well. You know, there's another route out if there's a bigger problem that occurs that I can't deal with. We've got this. That gives value to it.
And the client will appreciate that as well. To go like, actually, it's out of my remit, but someone else has got better knowledge on this. And
I think like it's being real open and honest, isn't it? And when we're like that, I think we forget the value of it.
Only good things can happen if you're open and honest. Sure, you know, like in our experience, definitely. It feels
easier.
So hard to do it sometimes because you're like, oh God, we fucked up. Like we did it last year, and we had like a bit of a thing on the podcast, and we admitted we'd taken the wrong path down this route, and we had to do it. And how hard was that? But we knew it was the right thing. We knew it was the right thing to build trust back up. We knew it was the right thing for us to have got it out and actually been truthful and said it. But it feels hard in the moment, but only good things come off that. And so many people have said, you were so good to actually do that and hold your hands up, and you know, it helped a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
In that process.
You're showing yourself as a real human being then, aren't you?
It frees your soul.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
I like that.
Yeah. Right, let's come on to the coaching then.
So I've been thinking while you were talking, I was thinking like, what's my biggest struggle? I've come up with it. So the biggest struggle for me in the coaching is when I first started, I thought everyone in the cleaning industry was my client. Like, as long as you've got a mop and bucket, you're my client. So come towards me. Oh, they're not coming towards me. That's shit. And it was like, now step back and like, that person might be ready. That person might be nearly ready. And that person's not going to be ready for 10 years. And it's recognizing that. But I have to remind myself daily, because I guess it's the same with you guys. I can see very quickly, I don't even really need to know the person, but I can see really quickly where I can help them.
Yeah. You see the
and
potential in
gaps,
the person. Yeah.
And I can see their blind spots.
Oh God, yes.
And I want to bloody help you. But you're not ready.
Yep.
And I've really struggled with that. And then what happened was, as a repercussion, I would overserve freely. And overserving freely isn't being kind to me, and it's not being kind to the people that are already my clients. So I've had to learn what that looks like in the free part, because there is free stuff I do. And I have to now keep that in the compartment it needs to be in, and know where those boundaries are. And that was really hard. If someone jumped in my inbox and said something like, can you help with such and such and such and such and such and such? Initially I'll be, yeah, of course I can. There you go. And then I'm like, I have clients paying me a lot of money for what I've just shared, and that's not fair. So now I'm learning, and I'm still learning to say, here's my free guide for that, or here's my webinar for that. But if you want a bit more, this is the place. And then it's their choice, isn't it, to go down there or not. But I do still struggle with it, because I've sat down with you and Jake and discussed before, in my ideal world, I would love to be able to give all my advice away for free. But unless I can go viral on TikTok, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, I can't do that. Like, because I have to put money on the table. I have to have money in the bank to pay for things. So it can't be free. But also, when I reflect on that, those that pay me put in more effort to follow through with what they're learning. So there's a double side to it.
It's so
as well.
hard,
if they
isn't
pay
it?
for something, they pay attention.
Exactly.
I do still find it really hard, though. Really hard.
We had this exact same problem in the early days, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to talk to people in the DMs and give them advice?
In the DMs.
In the DMs. And then you listen to Matt and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done there? Like that is not the right approach. Like, we're trying to convince them to come in. We're trying to see, and we're saying, we can see the potential in you. We can see that you could do so well with this business. And I'm like, I look back now and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
It's so cringe. And I think, yeah, you're right. I think from a coaching bit, and I can see this from that behaviour standpoint as well. Like, when you're going in, you're like, I know exactly what's going on with that dog. Here's all the answers, blah, 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 and that person's not ready to receive it. No. Even if they've paid you, you've still completely lost them, because the thing that you are sharing with them, you've invested a fuck ton of time, energy and money into learning the thing, and now you're trying to impart it in
2 seconds.
30 minutes. It's like, yes, there you go. And it's because you become so passionate about the thing, you become so passionate going, I know the answer, like I've got it, I want to help, I want to do all this stuff, like just and then you end up getting so frustrated. And I think, kind of bringing it back to a point we were making earlier, I think this is where people say they don't want to work with people because they get so frustrated that the information you are lovingly, or the intention is to offload in a loving way, but the reception isn't there for it yet.
No. So they're ungrateful. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're
They don't
never
do the
going to have
work.
the passion you have. Like that's all the
And then it brings
stuff that comes
offence to yourself because you're thinking, why are you not listening to me?
up. Yeah, and I'm crap and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't done it a very good job. That's what comes up.
And then you try and skew it all. There you go.
No, don't spew it.
We don't spew, no. Skew it all into your marketing attempts to go like, right, I need to word my marketing in such a way that I only want to attract people that are willing to put the work in. I only want to attract people that are going to do everything that I say. And I think for me, this is the biggest thing I struggle with them, because I'm like, it's just not going to work. Yeah. It can't work like that. We have to have this ability to be able to step back. And I think this is why businesses like yours exist. This is why businesses like ours exist, to be able to give people the support and the skill set to be able to take that step back and look at it differently and go, it's not about you.
Yeah, and look at the differences in the knowledge gap with where you are and where the client is, and meet them where they are, you know, come down to their level first.
Definitely.
And this is something we get a lot of pushback on, is when we're trying to encourage dog trainers to simplify things and dumb it down a little bit. When they've worked really hard and they've done all these courses, spent loads of money on the knowledge, they're like, why should I have to talk to a dog owner like a dog owner? I'm like, because you've lost them.
Yeah.
And they really struggle with that concept, and we get why, we understand why, but a lot of the work we've done it.
I used to do it all the time.
A lot of the work we do with them is to try and help them understand, to bridge that gap. And by bridging the gap, you're going to make a bigger impact.
Absolutely. Because if I think about it in the dog aspect, because we've got dogs with problems, like
you're in the right room.
I don't want to sit
I have a few
and
questions.
look at, I don't want to sit and look at a book and learn all the complex parts of it. I want someone to say to me, do this, this, and this. I know I'll have to do it regularly.
And I'll support you on the journey.
And then we'll get to there with your dog that barks when people bloody visit all the time. I don't need to know all huge
the why, the science behind it, all
just
the
help
stuff.
me give me the steps to get to the end solution. Yeah. And then if I don't follow them, I know I haven't followed them, so it's my fault. But because I haven't followed them, and if I do follow them, hopefully we'll get to a better place.
It's a really difficult concept for people to get their head around, because you know, we're humans and we care.
I think
and we're passionate.
It's a difficult concept as well, because it's that thought process of, I can't guarantee anything. So even if you do follow the steps,
it still might not get to where it needs to.
It still might not get to, because it's behaviour. And I think we become so ingrained in our own industries that we forget that it's not an industry specific thing. It's a people thing.
Yeah.
And in modern day and age, people want to buy something and have the result tomorrow, because it's just a consumer, isn't it? We don't want to wait for things anymore. Like if we scroll, we want to find something straight away. We don't sit around we don't want to sit around and spend 10 years learning something. We want the answer tomorrow or today. So like how we think about things, I think, has changed massively as well.
Yeah, and I think it's this time now to diversify and think differently. And like you say, the world's different now. It's faster paced. Everyone wants it like that yesterday. And so like we talk a lot to our clients about potentially doing trained for you like stuff where they do the work for the owner, and there's a lot of pushback on that still, which we think that's going to become massive because of how busy everything is now. And there's like, oh, but they should be doing the work, like why is it my job? And I'm like, well, you're better at it, you're a dog trainer, they don't want to be a dog trainer. And if you can just take the dog, and dog trainers love doing this, by the way, take the dog, do the training without a person that they don't like, because you know, we've heard all the stuff about people, what's not to love?
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Really. And I think people will buy into that as well. I would buy that. So I'm bringing my dog.
We used to sell it.
I'm bringing my dog to you.
Yeah, we used to do it.
I've got
We've got three in the car you can take now.
two are a nightmare.
One is beautiful.
And that need cancelling. The other one's the puppy, and we made sure we haven't made the same mistake. So she's 7 months old and she's still on track at the moment. Good. But what we've done in the cleaning industry in our business and how we've grown so big is we recognise what our potential clients need from us.
Yeah.
So the reason we've gone down the biohazard route and the hoarding route, and at the moment, like mold cleaning is absolutely huge. We have teams out all day, every day, working on mold. We watch what's going on, and the housing associations, and an example is a year or 2 years ago, a legal battle came in. A child died because of mold. And in October last year, a new law came into place for housing associations, and they had to conform to this set system. We were aware of that coming in. So when the law came in, we knew councils and housing associations wouldn't be able to keep up with it. So we made sure that we put our hands up and said, hi, we can help. And now we've got the work off the back of it. But it's not something, it's like, well, you should have been doing that before anyway. It's like, okay, we can see their problem, we can see their pain point, and we're going to run towards that because that's what we can do and help. And I think we need to take us out of it a bit. Yeah. Like, what do our clients need? As long as I'm happy to do that. If it's not my bag, then no. But what do our clients need? Another example is we work for housing officers that have got people living in their homes, in hoarded homes. Every other neighbour in the community is complaining. Them homes are a massive fire risk. The housing officers need those houses safe. So we'll go out and help them make them safe. So it's taking away what our belief system is, what we want, and recognising what do our clients need in 2026, not what they needed 5 years ago.
Who the client is as well.
Yeah.
So housing associations, our client isn't particularly the person that's hoarding. It's a housing officer and the list of things he's got to get done. Yeah. So you make sure them things are getting sorted. Then suddenly all the value goes into it. They stop looking.
Well, a good example of this is the muzzle movement when the ban came in.
Yeah, that would have been massive, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So they got a lot of backlash for it because they sort of were there at the right time and went, wow, this is what people need. So we're going to create all these different muzzles, all these different sizes, colours that are going to appeal. And they made a fuck ton of money off it by putting a load of hard work in and giving owners what they need. And they really suffered, didn't they, as a result with what people were saying, like, you're just money grabbing, you're doing all. We're like, what? You were providing a service that was needed. And you went in and you did it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And it's usually generally people say that sort of response is people are not business people.
Yeah.
They're just sort of sitting at home, they're looking on Facebook and they come out with a negative thing because they can.
Like, why can't I do that?
Yeah, jealousy, envy. He's just managed to have £1 million through doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
because he had the great foresight.
And it's a requirement.
Exactly. Someone needed that help, didn't they?
They're all needed now.
Interesting, if they looked on the other side for the people that went and bought their muzzles and made their dogs look trendy because all different colours, and also stopped people getting bitten or a little child being eaten.
Exactly that. Yeah. So look at the positives.
So do you want to stop doing that? And the little child might have died because they didn't really have that.
And they can still take their dog out because of it.
Yeah.
It's a win, really,
so
isn't it?
You change your perceptions because nice, colourful muzzles and your safety and all that. Yeah,
definitely.
There's so many things to consider in business, isn't there?
And when you think you've nailed it all, along comes another test.
What would you say? I don't want to confine it to an exact number, but we believe in, I was going to say the hustle culture, but not the hustle culture where you're hustling just for the sake of hustling. Yeah, not unnecessary, but business is hard. If it were easy, we'd all be doing it.
Yeah, it's a good saying it.
And I believe it should be hard to make it enjoyable, which sounds a little bit contradictory, but I believe it should be hard so that you have that massive dopamine hit when you get something working right. And I think there's so much stuff in business that you push yourself out of your comfort zone so much on things that you just don't want to do. And I think it's kind of coming back to what you were saying earlier, Donna, about the world that we live in now and this almost instant gratification, and we want things now. And it's almost like, how can we bypass the hard thing just to get the results? So what do you feel like you guys have to keep doing on a regular basis to keep the business ticking, even if it is a bit boring, even if it was hard and you didn't want to do it at first? And maybe you still don't want to do it, but it's part and parcel of it.
I think the have to.
He's laughing. He's got like one straight away.
Let me go first because I forgot my answer.
I was just trying to think what I was going to say. I just
I'll go first.
Go on, you go.
Have to's is the mindset. You have to keep doing that for sure, but that's a bit of an easy answer. I think one have to that might not be obvious is like our office has got like Asda across the road. Sometimes I sit in there and I'm there at 7 o'clock at night and everyone else has gone home and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I've worked like 12 hours for the last 7 days or whatever. And I look at Asda and I'm like, I'm going to go and get a job there and shut this down. I'm fed up with it. And I think you have to accept that you have those moments on a regular basis, because I will always, from time to time, even in 20 years' time probably, have those moments where I think, is this bloody worth it? But what I do is very quickly remember, if I went to get the job at Asda, and there's no discredit of Asda, I love Asda, I can't fit into that being an employee mould anymore. I've been there a long time ago and we're probably all very similar. I have to have the freedom to have my own thoughts. And if I want to work 12 hours, that's my choice, not someone else asking me. But I think I have to get used to knowing that I will think like that from time to time and go through the process of like, okay, feel that thought. It's happening right now. You feel shit. Right now we're through the other side and let's roll with it.
It's like a little floating cloud that goes
because it does happen.
The thought.
I'm like, is this all worth it? Or we'll have the conversation on a Sunday when we're trying to catch up with things. You don't say it at all. I do. So you probably get fed up with me saying it. At 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening or something, and I feel knackered and Monday's just coming. So for me, I think I just have to get used to feeling that, but not letting it last too long.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I've got to love what I want to do. And I've always loved being in business. And I'm not particularly worried about what sort of business it is. And I've found new ways of doing things because of how we're trading and all the structure and things that I didn't realise I could actually do in business. So I love sales and I love everything to do with that. There's a lot of relationships you've got to build to go with that. And probably some of the hardest things I think about actually having to go and do is walk into like networking meetings, people you don't know, making them relationships. So sometimes that's something I don't really think I want to go and do. But the minute I do it, I love doing it. So that's probably one of my hardest mindsets. So it's just walking into them rooms and saying, yeah, I'm here, come talk to me, you know. Yeah. But like on a spiritual level to do with that, I think we all get the moments where we think it'd just be easier to go and do that and earn myself 100 quid and just then go home. But if I just went home, I'd sit there and turn the telly on and be instantly bored, you know, and think, well, maybe if we can look at this and look at that. I mean, we went and had a coffee across the road here and straight away I saw a business opportunity. I know the people that deal with that building as well. And so I've sent them messages with photos and all sorts. So
don't say the name of the building.
I know, I won't say, I'm not going to say that. But the thing is, I can't take that entrepreneur bit out of me.
No, it's
and
there.
And that sales side. And I want to know that next person. I want that relationship. I want to do that. Yeah. So if I get near their moments where I'm thinking I'm tired and we've had some incredibly long days and I've had to jump in the car and drive halfway up the country because someone can't go and do something, but I'm serving that client. And that's how I have to think about it. So when I start to get that, I'm feeling a bit cream crackered and I don't want to do it. I just think down them lines. Yeah. And I think of all the great moments. And all of this equates back to like how much, you know, we're earning money out of it. So it's supplying on that level. But the culture and everything, the values that we create for the staff, the people and everything around us, that's what I think about. And I think if I step away from this, we're not going to keep that going.
Yeah.
And that's a bit I absolutely love. So it isn't about the money so much, that we need the money, but it's the culture and everything that we built. And so there's a minute I start to feel tired and think, I could have an easier job over there, but I know I would be unemployable within 5 minutes of, you know.
And also, again, what we were saying earlier, put yourself in that place. Go like, if I was working at Asda and I was employed and it was kind of safe and easy, how would it make me feel every day? Yeah. And if you're trying to suppress that entrepreneurial spirit and spark, like,
there were so many sick days, it'd be unreal.
Yeah. Like being in a bloody prison cell, I think. Yeah. That's how I think I'd feel about it.
I'd so struggle to go back to corporate now.
You wouldn't be able to think for yourself as much. Like, nothing wrong with teaching, but the reason I left teaching is I felt suffocated. I couldn't be the teacher I wanted to be, so it couldn't carry on. And running your own business, yes, you work longer hours than you did when you were employed, but you work in the hours for something that you totally believe in and you totally can run towards in your way. And that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really
And
cool.
do you know what? I was saying this to Jake. So people want to get into business because they love that it looks like a groovy business, and stuff like that. I think business is business. No matter what business you're in, you can turn it to how you enjoy doing it. It'll always work. And that's why the likes of Richard Branson and all these guys have got all these different brands and holiday cruises and PepsiCo, and all the different things they do. They turn their ethics of business across the one to the other, and you watch them grow into £1 billion businesses. And it's not because they're super experts in that one thing, it's because they love business and they know how to do business. So I mean, we take our business and grow that to where we want it to be, and want to add another little sideline to it, another little sideline. We know we're going to be able to grow because we got them skills, and that's the bit I really enjoy, learning them bits.
Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting. I want to do like a gear change actually and go back to the very start when you said that you were kind of up shit creek, there was no cash and all of that, and then you decided we're going to do this cleaning business. What was kind of like the next step? So how do you go and then find clients?
That was good.
So when we first started, it was like, this is how quick I am at making decisions. It was a Christmas break, say like between Christmas and New Year, so maybe Boxing Day.
You and me are so similar.
We were like, Lucinda's business is doing really, really well. Like, she's got a cleaner business, our daughter and her husband, and it's turning over a decent amount of money. We ain't got much money at the moment. Like, we're not doing very well. We're right at the bottom. What can we do? Well, I'd always wanted to work with Den. I don't know whether he'd wanted to work with me or not, but I'd always wanted to set something up with Den, and I didn't know what it was. And we'd just come back from holiday and they'd been talking about their cleaning business, and I'm like, we need to just do this. Let's just set a cleaning business up.
So it was a very bizarre.
The
We're sitting across.
I bought a website
so
of GoDaddy, put that together, like probably Boxing Day, put a Facebook page up the next day.
And really strange business names as well, I tell you.
Yeah, we've changed our name 4 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went out and said, I'm Den from Hearts Housekeeping. I thought, well, that just doesn't
where?
work.
Hearts Housekeeping?
Yeah. Bit different
didn't
to
last
Den I
long.
do with crime scene cleans. And I had to say that to people, you know what I mean?
So like that was the initial step. So it was like, get a website, get on Facebook, go everywhere on Facebook, shout out about it on Facebook. We haven't got a huge network of friends and family, so that part of it didn't really take hold. Just scroll on Facebook, who's looking for a cleaner, comment. And then the jobs just started coming in. And they just kept coming, didn't they? And kept coming.
And I mean,
There was no paid ads or anything, no networking at the beginning.
not at all.
It was purely just social media at the beginning.
And I remember walking around people's houses because we do a thing called meet and greet. We've done that from the very beginning. So we go and meet the client, do a tick list and stuff like that. And that's when you started putting structure into everything. I thought, oh, this is interesting. But it was like, I was looking around places thinking, oh, yeah, if we ever could, what's this worth? How are we going to price it? You know what I mean? It was like really, really new. Whereas I'd been going out and building jobs and decorating jobs, and I can look at a building from the outside and I go, it's going to be 15 grand. I mean, but with the cleaning, it was completely
Whole new world.
Yeah, another, and I soon took them skills and put it into it. But yeah, it was really, it was exciting. Even though we were broken skinned and needed money, it did feel exciting to do. Yeah.
So going back to that, you being on Facebook, you mentioned replying to comments and things. So it's you striking up conversations with people, you trying to show that you're a human being behind the business. Is that kind of how you were looking
definitely.
at it?
And it was just like putting in the hard graft.
The graft bit.
I know it doesn't feel like hard graft, but I had to be on Facebook pretty much 24/7, looking in Facebook
It's mental
groups,
hard graft.
I'd say it's like
seeing who was saying they were looking for a cleaner, and I would just put, we've got our cleaning business, we can come and do a meet and greet or whatever. I can't remember if I jumped in their inbox as well or not. I might not have done. And then here's our phone number, give us a ring. And they started ringing. And then we just kept pushing. And I have never stopped pushing. I just find different ways to push.
And also there's a belief in there, because we never believed for one moment we can't make this work.
Yeah, because we set a model up that was very different to other cleaning businesses. So we could have set up and thought this is going to be hard. Like we said at the beginning, like I had no experience in running a business. I'd only ever been a teacher. So that was all new to me. I had no clue how to clean. So we just jumped on YouTube every minute we could and went off to America because that's where all the cleaning was ahead of us. So looked on YouTube in America, had a look to see what coaches were out there because there was a couple of cleaning industry coaches in the US. Took on board what they were saying, and one of the first most controversial things we done was the very first, from right at the beginning, we charged really high. We were fine with that. We charged really high. And for all our clients, they had to pay a month in advance. And we'd done it right from the start. And that, looking back now, because I train my people to do that, that was brave to do that right at the beginning, not knowing anything. And we had hardly any kickback. I think in the first year, one person said, no, they're not paying in advance.
It was interesting because every time I sat in like to sell them their clean, I said, how much are you going to be? And we went sorted out the figures. And they said, how do we pay you? We give you an invoice and you pay it before we come. And just, it was straight to the point, no mucking about with it, mate. And no one looked at me and went, I ain't bloody doing that. Yeah, it was like, yeah, fine. What, straight to the bank? Yeah, that'd be great. Brilliant.
And over the years, it's probably no more than 10 or 11 that have done that knowingly. There's probably a few other people that have moved away from us because of that. But that was probably one of our biggest reasons for success in the beginning because it cash flowed us straight from the start. At the beginning of every month, there was money in the bank.
Hit the numbers,
We were also really, really lucky because COVID kicked in 3 months later, which meant you couldn't go out partying, you couldn't go out on holiday. So for the first year and a half or 2 years, we mindfully had said this anyway. We said we need to scale back. We moved to the cheapest house we could find. We were renting, so we found the cheapest house we could rent. And we said we need to get money in the bank, like so that we can bring staff in. We have no money in the bank right now, so we need to. So we scaled back on everything, but it did help that COVID was there because you couldn't go out shopping much and you couldn't spend much money. And we made sure within 6 months we had a stack load of money in the bank. So when we took staff on, there was a buffer zone there. And that really, really helped us grow and scale, didn't it?
And then we took our first commercial clean on. That actually paid for all the staff out of that one job. With the profit, it was just the universe was just giving it to us because we believed, we knew it would happen.
And we've still got that commercial client.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, the $2,000 they pay us a month doesn't cover our staff costs. I think we thought that was going to last forever, but
it was really good because we saw that value and we looked at what we was paying out to our staffs and we wanted to get a few more people and we thought that's brilliant. Like, and all of a sudden, like we 50-fold that, you know what I mean? But it was so good. It was just so really nice.
Oh, if you got like warm, tingly feeling like me.
Yeah. That self-belief bit, I'm glad that's come up because we talk a lot about this self-belief because
it's powerful.
When we started this podcast, when we started K9 Business Academy, it's all about self-belief.
Oh, there was nothing else.
We had no bloody
This is what we hold on to.
Honestly, we had so much belief in, like, this podcast still is such a big driver for people to come towards us. And you know, we just thought, let's talk about our own experiences. Let's talk about the shit we've been through. Let's talk about the great things we've done. And let's just be raw and real and open and honest. And it just worked.
It's that investment. There's so many things. It's like, it's the investments, like the financial investment. We probably spent the best part of 50 grand to officially get the CBA up and running with no clients, with no money. That was all borrowed money and a belief that, no, we're going to make this happen. And this is so we teach a lot similar to what I'm hearing when you said you went over to the States and you heard like, do the higher ticket thing, get your cash flow bit right. You know, if you're a baby business, charge higher, like ask for more money, obviously with structure and everything else around it. But that's going to really help. And I think so many of us, and I know a lot of listeners will be feeling this of, but it's that comparisonitis again. It's like, I can't do that. No one's going to pay. So we ended up with some of our highest ticket programs. I think we're like $6,000 in the end for dog training.
Yeah.
No one's going to pay that. They're only paying like £30, or there's one by me, £2 for a class you can go to. And I'm like, well, my minimum package was $1,800. And again, it's that mindset, it's that belief that no one's going to pay, no one's going to pay, no one's going to pay.
Definitely. And the same with like cleaning business owners, they'll think that. They'll say, shall I charge a bit cheaper at the beginning, or shall I do these little discounts? It's like, no. Like, if you want to be a leader in the industry, if you want to be an authority, if you want to be a premium service, you need to do that from the start, because those lower prices and those discounts are going to attract the clients that aren't your clients.
And it's going to be really hard then to put them up.
And the interesting one as well is when someone comes on board towards you and they've got, I would say, 10 grand's worth of work a month. and you've got to get them to put their prices up, and then they've got to go VAT registered and all that. And when it's a totally frightening thought for them to be able to go forward, and I'm going to lose all my clients to all that. They put their rates up, put the VAT on, they might lose 5% of their clients, but they've doubled their fee. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, they're making double the money doing after work.
Yeah.
And when you can convince them and show them that, they're like, oh.
The VAT bit is a good example, actually, of people in the cleaning industry, because like they'll be scared to go to the VAT.
Same.
And what frustrates me a little bit as well, some of their financial advisors encourage them not to.
Yep, same.
Yeah. Which is also, and I say, let's celebrate it. Let's bloody celebrate the fact that you've got to that
earned enough money.
And then let's run and get to like 150k.
And go way over it.
Let's go for it now. But it's hard to change that pot of people thinking like that, because there's so many people telling them that, and then I'm coming along saying, "No, come on, let's have a party."
Yeah,
and they're not really.
And this is where it's so not industry specific.
Yeah, it's general.
A group of people specific across lots of industries.
Yeah, and it's like, no, let's celebrate, because it means you've hit a milestone, and that's exciting.
And the games they try and play and put themselves through to keep themselves under a VAT limit. Yeah. You know, do a little bit of cash, do this, do that, you know, and you'll set 2 businesses up. Then you suddenly give yourself...
Yeah, that's one as well.
I'll have 2 businesses and but you've got now 2 lots of accounts, you've got 2 lots
You've got 2 focuses.
Oh,
God, no.
Don't do it. Just celebrate. You're about to turn over 100,000. Look for the 200.
Keep running.
Double it.
It's a driver to go even further ahead then, isn't it?
And I'm guessing people that have got there are people that want to scale and grow anyway. So let's keep scaling and growing. And in a year's time, you'll forget that you were thinking like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I remember listening to the American coach when we first started cleaning. And I used to be on a set of earphones and stuff. And I used to think, some of the stuff he'd say to me, I think, no, you're just not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that. Now we're completely doing that. and I'm thinking, God, that man was perfect. You know, really, his faults are brilliant.
But people forget you pass the VAT on.
It's not you. No. You're not like finding extra 20% to pay them in.
But it's that thought that people won't pay. I remember when I got to the VAT threshold in my dog training business, and my the cheapest package was 1,500, so that immediately made it 1,800 with the VAT on top. And I kept up in an hour, and I'm like, oh, how do I present it? Do I go, it's 1,500 plus VAT, so I'm showing you, and there's so much thought that went into it. I was like, so I'm showing you then that I'm only asking for 1,500,
and it's them.
The VAT people, they want more. I'm spilling water all over myself. They want more. So then I was like, oh God, but then if I ask for 1,800, so it's like including VAT, then I look greedy. And I would deliberate for ages. I'd sat there, I'd write it down. It's like, no. And in the end, I think I did go with 1,500 plus VAT. And then I thought, oh my God, no one's going to pay this, because now that's £300 that they're technically not paying for me. Yeah. They're just paying tax. No one's going to want to do that. And then the first time I did it on a phone call, I was like, so it's 1,500 plus the VAT, so it's 1,800 total. How do you want to proceed? And they were like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, I remember putting the phone down. I had nobody to celebrate with at the time. I was just running around my house going Darren came home later, and I was just like, I did it. And he's like, okay, well done. Oh, you're boring.
You'll never know how it feels.
And then as soon as I'd gone past that, like 150 was easy.
Definitely.
But it's such I can see why it's so difficult for people to do that, because we're all brought up with this stuff. Like, God, the amount of times my dad still says to me now, he's just like, God, you must be paying a lot of tax and all this tax. Like, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it's just...
I mean, it is a bad thing.
I mean, it is, because it's like fucking Rob Dobbs and all that. However...
If you used to take it that I'm paying £1 million in tax, you just earn £5 million.
Yeah, it means you're successful, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like you're doing well, like you're getting, and for me, like the more money you make when you've got that like that passion and that desire to want to grow your business. You're growing your business not just from a financial perspective, but you're growing it because you want to have an impact on people.
Yeah.
And you want it, and the world benefits from it.
Definitely. And like for us, because we've got lots of staff as well, it's like there's 25 people in our community that are doing, hopefully they're enjoying their days. Not every day, they're not going to enjoy every day, but like we said earlier, one's bought a house and others probably, like other people are doing other things, they're going on holidays, and we're being part of that. And we, as employers, we forget that bit. We always sort of just look at the other bit, but we forget, like, we've got a bank of people that are part of our local community that are doing shouting our thing and doing our thing.
And they're
that's
relying on
super
you for their
powerful.
income.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I love that statement when someone says you're too dear. I think, yeah, okay.
Matt taught you to do that.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great statement, yeah.
Yeah.
We're dear for a reason.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah, just nod and say cheers.
Yeah. So if people want to find out more about what it is you do in both arms of the business, how do they do that? What's the best way for them to find out?
Mine's really easy. Mine's if you go to donnahall.co.uk, which makes it really easy because that's my name. It's got my website, it's got all my free guides on there, and it's got my packages. So it just explains everything on there. So that's the best place. Or just find me on social media because I'm one of those weird people that really like social media.
I love your
pretty
social
much
media
everywhere.
posts. You are literally every day.
I love it.
Like,
I really enjoy it. I have had backlash occasionally because of it, but that's another growth avenue, isn't it? Anyway, you learn to grow through that. So yeah, I'm on any social media or that website. Do you want to share the cleaning business?
Yeah, well, just go to the website, www.
Do you know what it is?
thespecialistcleaninggroup.co.uk. Got that bit right. We can
not crime scene cleaning.
We've got loads of lists on there. You can
and
just
again,
feed
we're
for
all over social media, the specialist cleaning
You can
group
get me
as
on
well.
LinkedIn, everywhere, So, all the normal routes.
What was your last post on LinkedIn?
Well, I have this perfect LinkedIn master that does it for me.
You're telling all your secrets.
And I do get it. I turn up to a network meeting and I go, I love what you just said. And I'm thinking, what did I just say?
So you need to learn to check that.
I do. Before I go in there now, I check them every time.
I love that.
Thank you so much, guys, for making the effort to come over in person.
It's been fun.
Earlness.
Really good.
It's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, mate.